So you are doing your research on Austin. Maybe you live here or you're thinking about moving here, and Leander keeps coming up on your search. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and it's just a lot. So today I'm going to tell you 10 things that you didn't know about Leander, and make sure you stick around to the end for you beer nerds, because there's going to be something that I think is pretty cool, and there might even be a bonus after that. First thing I promise you didn't know about Leander is Neanderthals used to live there. So in 1982, the Texas Department of Transportation was doing some research on some roads. They were going to build a highway out in Leander, and they came across this tomb. It was the oldest and one of the most complete skeleton finds in all of North America. And the carbon dating puts it back to being like 10,000 to 13,000 years old. It was a nearly complete woman skeleton. Real quick, before we get too far into the video, I realized I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Tiffany Moore. I'm a realtor right here in Austin, Texas. If you have any questions about moving here, buying a home here, I'm happy to help. All my info is in the description, so you can find it there. All right, back to the video. She was about 5 feet 3 inches tall. She was about 30 years old at the time of her death. And because of her proximity to Leander, they call her Leanderthal lady, or, Leanne for short. She was obviously buried with a lot of care. They found her with a lot of tools surrounding her. One of them was a grinding tool that she probably used to grind grains, and another was a shark's tooth, of course. So the site that they found her at was called the Wilson Leonard Brushy Creek site, and that has a lot of history about people that used to live here in prehistoric times. So about 10,000 to 13,000 years after Leanne was buried, Leander was founded, and the original location was actually about a mile west of where it is now, and it was called Baghdad. So it was named Baghdad from one of the early settlers who named it after his hometown, which was Baghdad, Tennessee. And this was in 1855. There's actually still a Baghdad street in Leander. If you ever wondered where that name was from, that's what Leander was originally called when it was in its original location. So in about 1881, the railroad started coming through the Leander area, and it was going to connect Austin to Abilene. And it looked like it was just going to go straight through Baghdad, but ended up going about a mile east. So a lot of folks in Baghdad picked up and moved east to where the railroad was going to be, because that was clearly where all the commerce and industry and all that stuff would happen. And they moved so that they could buy land off the railroad company. So the town that everyone moved to became what is now known as Leander. It was named after Leander Catfish Brown, what an awesome nickname, who was one of the executives of the railroad company that set up the station in Leander, and he was also a former mayor of Austin. So the third thing that you probably didn't know about Leander is that the cost of living is relatively low. It's about 4.7% below the national average. I anticipate that's going to start creeping up as we take into account that housing and that housing prices continue to go up. So actually the cost of living in Austin is either at or below the national average for everything except for housing. But for housing, Austin is 60% higher than the national average. So that brings up the whole Austin cost of living up to about 20% above the average. So right now, Leander is just about 5% below national cost of living, but I see that increasing as home prices start increasing as well. Fourth thing is that Leander has awesome schools. It is one of the best school districts in Austin, and because of all the growth that's been going on in Leander, it's the 10th fastest growing school district in the United States. So a resource that I like to use a lot when checking out schools, and not just their test scores, but the preparation that they give their students for college, what their trends are as far as learning and things like that. A resource I love is called greatschools.org. Definitely check it out. It's going to give you some overall information about each school district, and then information about each individual school as well. So you can figure out, okay, this one school district's great, but over here the elementary school is maybe not as good as the one in this neighborhood. So you can kind of check out all that information and figure out, if you want to really pinpoint that deep, which area you want to live in so you can get to these particular schools. The fifth thing that you didn't know about Leander is that it has one of the wealthiest zip codes of any area surrounding Austin. So in the Austin area, we talk about the counties of Travis, Williamson, Caldwell, Hayes, and Bastrop counties. When we're looking at every zip code in that area, Leander ranks 20th as far as the wealthiest zip codes, 20 out of the top 50. So the most wealthy zip code is obviously going to be in Austin proper, where homes are like 500 plus per square foot. But Leander ranks 20th out of those. So Leander is a majority white-collar town. More than 40% of the adults there have earned their bachelor's degree or higher, and a lot of the new development is meant to attract the residents who want to live around some of the cool stuff around Austin, but don't actually want to live in Austin. So employers are going to come because they are looking for highly educated employees who, not all of those people are in Austin proper. Austin is growing so much and people are coming that just don't want to live downtown or don't want to live in the hustle and bustle, and employers are catering to those folks and setting up offices further out in the suburbs. So the sixth thing that you didn't know about Leander is that there's insane growth coming. It's been growing a lot residentially. We talked about a bunch of the new construction areas that are going up around Leander, and now that's going to start being filled with the commercial side so that we have grocery stores and shops and restaurants and things to do. So if you've seen any of my other videos and I've talked about the Domain, you know that that is a really cool live, work, play area that's supposed to kind of mimic downtown, so you don't have to go downtown for fun stuff like good restaurants, fun stuff to do, just a cool vibe in general. So Leander is building at least 4 of them. I'm going to give you a brief rundown of them real quick, but this is some of the growth that's coming to Leander that most people don't know about. The first 2 are the big ones. So one is called North Line. This is actually going to be a new train station for our commuter rail. So we have kind of a basic commuter rail in Austin. It's in the process of growing, and over the next few years, it's going to become much more robust. And one of the ways it's growing is by adding a station up in the new area of Leander called North Line. It's going to be, this whole live, work, play area is going to be 115 acres. It's going to have live, work, play, apartments, office space, commercial space, retail, restaurants, all that good stuff, parks, everything like that. The second live, work, play area that is going to be super cool is called Leander Springs. It's going to be 80 acres, and 4 of those acres are going to be a man-made crystal clear lagoon, which is crazy. But of course we need a lagoon in Leander. They really want it to be a cool place for residents to come, and also kind of a destination for other folks in the area, where if you're coming from like New Braunfels or north from like Taylor or Killeen or somewhere like that, this can be somewhere to go so you don't have to go all the way downtown for fun stuff. The third live, work, play area is called Monarch. It's going to be 50 acres. It's going to have residential and commercial space. One of Austin's really awesome builders, Scott Felder, has signed on to be one of the developers in the area. So it's definitely going to have a focus on high quality. Scott Felder, they don't build in every community in Austin. They're very selective about where they build. Their construction quality is great. Their people are wonderful to work with. If you can't tell, I'm a huge Scott Felder fan. So to me, when I see that Scott Felder's name is on this development, this is going to be a little bit higher end. The fourth live, work, play area is called 29 Gateway. It's going to be 32 acres, lots of commercial space, open park space, luxury apartments, and they're going to have a complex with like a rooftop pool and a parking garage. This is what the developer of 29 Gateway has to say about the project. That Leander has a highly educated population with high income learners that is going to be very attractive to brands. There is a lower vacancy and a higher demand in Leander, so this project is probably going to exceed most people's expectations. I think most folks don't understand just how big Leander is going to be residentially with people who live there, and then with all of these cool new commercial developments coming in, it's going to drive people who actually live in Austin or in Round Rock, Cedar Park, Hutto, Pflugerville. This is going to be a place for everyone to come. So I think obviously there's a tendency to think conservatively and that maybe we don't need all this space, so we're going to be able to fill it. But with all the development that's going on, I don't think there's going to be any trouble filling the commercial space. It's not like we're going to build shopping centers and everything is going to be empty. This is going to be a very high demand area. And some of the prospective tenants that they're looking at for 29 Gateway are recognizable quick service and sit-down restaurants. So something like Chipotle as well as Fleming's, I'm thinking. Maybe not that high end, who knows? Corporate offices, regional medical offices, banks, Montessori schools, things like that. So definitely a robust area with a lot of professional industry in it as well. Number 7 is Leander was named the fastest growing city in the US from 2018 to 2019. We had a 12% growth in that year. That's huge. Most people think of Leander as just being, oh, the suburb that's north of Cedar Park. There's not much going on there. It is like the secret silent grower. It's going crazy. Tons of people are moving here, and Leander is just going to explode with all the growth that's happening on the residential side and the commercial side. Number 8 thing that you didn't know about Leander is that this year in 2021, it was named the 5th best suburb to move to in America. So that's from homes.com, and they based it on 9 factors, some of which were average yard size, racial diversity, home sizes, and school districts. We had talked about Leander's amazing school district, so that obviously played a big role in it. That's something that a lot of people look at when they're considering where to move, especially families who either have kids or are going to have kids. How good are the schools? Am I going to have to go to just this one good school in the area, or are most schools in the district doing a good job? There are a lot of factors that are driving this growth. So I'm going to go through some of the things that make Leander attractive on why people are moving here. One, the low cost of living. We talked about it having a cost of living that's 4.7% lower than the national average. That's awesome. Award-winning school system. The Leander ISD is the 10th fastest growing school district in the U.S. UT and ACC, the Austin Community College, are the 2 largest institutions for higher learning in the region. And so ACC has a lot of different locations out and about in the area, and UT is obviously just a short drive down from Leander. Those 2 things are driving folks who are coming to the area for education. So we talked about the North Line and how that's going to add a commuter rail station to Leander. That's also another reason that Leander is experiencing this growth, is that it's going to give us access to that commuter rail so we can get downtown easier. And Leander has easy access to hill country. So there's lots of opportunities for like stuff you want to do artistically, for entertainment, for just getting away, just a short drive down there for like a quick weekend, a winery trip, a farm trip, anything that you want to do. So lots of reasons that people are moving to Leander and that it's growing so much and being recognized nationally. 9th thing that you didn't know about Leander is that there's a ton of stuff to do outside. Tons of parks. One of the coolest things is this zip line. It is the longest zip line in Texas. It's 2.5 hours. I don't think that you have to do the whole thing if you don't want to, but I would definitely give it a shot. They've got amazing views up there of like Lake Travis and all the greenery and everything around. Really pretty. There's also a ton of parks. There's one humongous park that's 47 acres. It's got a BMX trail. It's got a disc golf course, soccer fields, skate parks, playgrounds, hike and bike trails, just awesome. All the stuff that you want to do outside, this park is definitely the place to go. Old Town Leander is like the downtown area. There's tons of shops, breweries, wineries, restaurants. They have a street festival in the summer, and in the winter they have a Christmas fest during the holidays, and they have a farmer's market there on the weekends. So lots of stuff to do outside. There's also Crystal Falls Golf Course in Leander. So Crystal Falls is one of the really pretty neighborhoods in Leander that is humongous. My friend lives there. It takes her like 5 to 10 minutes to get out of the neighborhood and then drive to the grocery store and everything. But it's in a very hilly area of Leander. The topography is gorgeous. You can just look over the canyons and see the houses on the other side. But anyway, the golf course at Crystal Falls is gorgeous as well. So lots of things to do outside, lots of activity in Leander. Number 10 is for the beer nerds out there. So if you didn't know, my husband and I have homebrewed for like 10 plus years. We haven't done it so much in the past few years because like life just gets crazy. But one of the coolest things about Leander is that this is where Blacklands Malt is. So if you didn't know anything about them, before they were founded in 2012, no grain, no wheat, no barley or rye was grown and malted in Texas for use of brewing and distilling beer and spirits. So beer is made with like malted grain. So you grow it, you malt it, you kind of roast it, you get different toasty notes and flavors out of it, you extract the sugars, and then you do a few other processes and then you make beer. Similar process with distilling spirits and things like that. Texas is so huge, but we didn't have our own maltsters until these folks opened in 2012. And now they revitalized the Texas grown malting barley scene, and they have given Texas brewers access to local malt for the first time that beer has ever been brewed in Texas. So it's really exciting. A lot of the local breweries use Blacklands malt. Austin is very much, we live here, we give here town, keep Austin local. So Austin has a ton of breweries, and at any opportunity that we can support a local business, we want to do that, especially when it's like a revolutionary company like Blacklands Malt. So some of the breweries that use their malts are Jester King. We talked about them being out in the hill country. Pantry, Oscar Blues, Black Star Co-op, Austin Beer Works, Oddwood Ales, Lazarus Brewing. My husband and I have been to all these breweries in Austin. They're probably some of the best ones out there. Austin's got new breweries popping up all the time, but you'll know the ones that stand the test of time. And those are the quality breweries that you want to check out. These are like the best breweries in Austin, and they're using Blackland's malt. So for beer nerds, Leander is a really cool spot because that is where Blackland is located. So here is your bonus, like 11th thing you didn't know about Leander. We know that there's a ton of construction and growth and residential stuff going on right now, and that's the majority of homes that are being built today, like dirt in the ground today. But there is going to be a landscape shift in Leander soon with these live, work, play projects that are coming up, and just with the overall consensus and direction of housing in general. So we have almost always built like single family homes, like tract neighborhoods. We've got the house and the yard and the 2 or 3 car garage and everything. And that's awesome, but there's so many people moving to Leander that we cannot keep up with the housing demand. And not just like the number of houses, but the amount of space that is needed for everyone to have a single family home. So there is going to be a lot more development and focus of multifamily construction, multifamily structures and homes in Leander. And a lot of that is coming with the live, work, play areas. They're gonna have residences to rent and to buy that are going to be multifamily homes. So that is going to be one of the major focuses for the developments that are coming in Leander. And I have to say, like, what I tell my clients right now is there's not a whole lot in Leander now, at least in the new construction area, but you just hold on like 2 years and everything is coming this way. It's really going to explode. Like if you want to get in on something on the ground floor in Austin, it's too late to do it pretty much anywhere else in town, but Leander is the best bet in Austin right now. There's just so much growth and development that is coming that it's going to take what we have now and just make it look like it's peanuts. So tons of stuff happening in Leander. Now is the time to get in on it. It's probably going to take a couple years for things to get up and running, and after that it's just going to start exploding and going crazy. So the next time someone tells you that, oh, you have to buy downtown or you have to live in Lakeway if you want something nice, tell them what is going on. Tell them what's really happening in their backyard and in Leander, that yeah, it may look like nothing's going on now. And I promise you, most people are not driving up there. They have no idea. But now you know about all the crazy residential stuff that's happening. And now you have the secret in on the commercial projects that most people in Austin don't even know about. So this is what's happening here. Go out and tell all your friends and they're going to think that you are a superstar.